Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys our complete kitchen haul, complete kitchen redo, if you will. And we started off by epoxying our countertops, and then we finished with some fun touches on the cabinets. I'll show you guys the whole thing in this video, but I just wanted to dive right in and kind of talk you guys through how we did it, and I will show you our complete afters at the end of the video after about 5 months of wear and tear, so you guys will be able to see that. The first thing that we started off doing was we took off the cooktop. We didn't want to deal with getting any paint or epoxy on that cooktop. And then we went ahead and taped all of the areas off that we didn't want any paint to get on, and then we started with the primer. I didn't show this in the video so far, but we did a really good prep on the countertops before we started painting. That essentially was using a Brillo pad and scrubbing the countertops and getting them really, really clean before we started painting, and then getting them really dry. So make sure you do dry and clean those countertops before you start priming. That is going to be essential for the outcome of your countertops. Here I'm just doing the outside edges of the countertops with the white base primer. With this white base primer, you will need to add 2 coats. So I'm doing the first coat right here, and then you let it dry for 1 hour, and then you go ahead and do a second coat. We did this at nighttime when our kids were sleeping because it was just a good time to do it, but we actually did the epoxy during the day when the kids were awake, and so we were able to do all of this just with kids, without kids, and it was rather a simple process for us. After you get the 2 coats of the white primer on, you just let it dry for another hour. Each coat is an hour dry time. So for us, we just went to bed after this second coat was put on, and then my husband actually researched how to do the marble veining. After doing some research and having a blueprint of how we wanted our veins to look on the countertop, my husband went to work and started coloring in the veining, I guess if you want to call it coloring. But how you do it is you use that gray paint as seen in the photo, and he just draws it down. Then he sprays water on it, and he kind of makes it a little bit blurry. And then after that process is done, he uses a little bit of a highlighter with a sponge. I didn't actually video this part of it, but it's a very simple process with the veining. The biggest part of this is just to make sure that you have your kitchen countertops drawn out on a piece of paper, and you can easily map out which veins you want to do where. After the veining is done, we just let it dry for like 30-45 minutes, and then we started with the activator epoxy, and it's a self-leveling epoxy. And what you do is you stir in the activator and the resin together for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Stir it in really, really well, and then pour it in an S shape around your countertop as you see here. Because it's self-leveling, you don't need to add a lot of pressure on the roller, you just need to guide it, and it self-levels itself out. So it's really, really nice in that way. You don't feel like you have to do a whole lot with the epoxy, but you do need to put it in even strips along your countertop. It's going to be drippy. Don't let this alarm you. You have your plastic tape you should have put on your countertops at the very beginning when you were taping everything off, and it'll drip onto this and it'll be totally fine. You just need to go with a roller along the underneath part once you're all the way done with the top part of the counter. And then once you are all done with the top part of the counter, get those underneaths all smoothed out and you should have no problems. And then once you do have everything completely done, there's no drips underneath the countertop, take away that plastic tarp because you don't want it cementing to your cabinets or to the underneath part of your countertops. So that is a piece of advice we actually didn't do on one side of our countertops, and I had to rip it, and it was very hard to do. In the background, you will see I'm rushing around trying to get the activator and the resin stirred. You need to make sure it's all very timely. And so I was stirring while my husband was putting on the clear coat, and it was one of those things where we just had to work together. So if you are doing this, I would highly recommend having someone do it with you, just so you have more hands in the pot and you have more eyes on spots that might have gotten missed or just steps that need quick hands. I will say we did learn from our mistake. You see in this picture we have our sink faucet completely covered. I would highly recommend you take that off. We just thought we could cover it up and then paint around it, but what happened was it actually cemented to the tape, cemented to the countertops, and it was really hard to get off. So I would recommend just having somebody take that off for you. As you can see, it's really, really smooth and shiny. It's gorgeous, and it really, really holds up nicely. This is the last step. As you see, he's rolling the underneath part to get all those drips away, and it's completely self-leveled. So completely done at this point. It takes 7 full days to cure, and you really don't want to set anything on your countertops for 7 full days, and that's what we did. I had this grand idea that I was going to paint my kitchen cabinets by myself, and so I emptied out the kitchen actually 3 different times. I took everything out of our kitchen cabinets, in the cupboards, in the drawers, everything, and I went ahead and took out all the drawers and started cleaning them. It was a bit bigger project than I wanted to bite off. I wanted to be able to completely redo my kitchen all by myself, with the help of my husband, of course, but I realized with 4 young children, it just wasn't going to work out, and so we ended up hiring help. They helped us put this sink in here. We got a completely new sink, and we hired help to help us paint the cabinets white. This was a big project, and I'm super glad we didn't have to do it on our own, and I'm just super thankful and happy with the way it all turned out. The whole thing took about 2 full weeks, and it was just something that was really cost effective, and it worked out great. This is the final product. This is after 5 months of wear and tear from my kiddos. As you can see, it's very, very durable. This whole thing for the countertops cost $200, and it really did change the whole entire look of our kitchen. If you guys want to see any links for the things we use down below, check it out. I will have that in the description box.